In a 3, a 2, a 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye Weekly Podcast. I'm Tony Gerdeman here, as always, with Tom or Tom. How's it going?
Tony, week 2 of Ohio State summer camps got off to a really interesting start on Tuesday. We had a bunch of different players. It was a really good day for quarterbacks. It was a really good day for a bunch of different position groups. And I did a show with Chuck Milletti on the Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning feed, talking about 5 guys who really jumped out to us during camp on Tuesday. And then we have a whole separate show with a whole different position group from anything we talked about on that show. A couple guys that jumped out to you and apparently also jumped out to the Ohio State coaching staff.
Well, we do share the ability to know how good players are. I don't know what's it. The ability to recognize talent, I think is how we say it in the industry.
Yeah, a real eye for talent, a real refined eye. Yes, that it was, and these were not necessarily particularly difficult scouts. These were guys who you watched, and it was like that's a guy that looks like he could play at a pretty high level. And so, yes, I will. I'm sure Carlos Loughlin will greatly appreciate your validation.
I approve these offers. We are talking about the running backs and a couple of running backs in particular. 2029 running back William Green, 2030 running back Cooper Jones, both from Texas and both very young. Cooper Jones heading into his freshman year, and of course William Green heading into his sophomore year. And yes, how did I spot their talent? Well, Cooper Jones already has like 20 offers, and William Green already has a bunch of offers, including Texas Tech and other programs like that. So how did I do it? Just lucky, I guess.
Yes, and people I'm sure right now are going, William Green, that name sounds familiar. And it sure does sound familiar. At one point, Tony walked over to me as I was in there shooting photos and goes, "Do you feel old?" And I said, yes, I always do. But why in this particular case are you asking? And he said, well, that's William Green Jr. And so I leapt to the same conclusion that Tony leapt to, which is this is the son of the former Boston College and Cleveland Browns running back, William Green. Tony, not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast. This is William Green Jr., the son of former Oklahoma State running back and a talented running back in terms of William Jr. for sure. Listed about 5'11", 195. Like I said, has offers from plenty of good places, and then was offered by Loughlin today after camp. Got pulled aside. As we try to do when the camps are over and they go and split off and they get their time cards and everything, then they kind of just walk amongst themselves or their parents. We try to grab these players as we can and talk to them, whether interviews or YouTube videos. And I talked with Cooper Jones, and then I was trying to get to talk to William Green, and an OSU recruiting staffer's like, no. It's like, well, why not? And it's generally when you get told no, it's because they're going to be pulled inside, and they don't want to be waiting on me to do that. Sometimes they will wait, other times no. And so they got pulled aside and they got their offer, and Cooper Jones got his offer as well today. And I'll have some highlights here in this video of their performances on the day. But talking with William's dad, I was like, so what do you think about Coach Locke? He's like, I love him. I love the way that they get after players and all of the minor details. Nothing gets past him, and he coaches, and we've talked about this before, he coaches every single player the same way. And so, like, just that level of focus and detail and tenacity, that's a lot of dads would be like, yes, please take my son, because I know he's going to get looked after with a fine-tooth comb. And talking with Cooper Jones about it, he's like, yeah, I want to be pushed like that. And so Coach Loughlin is always a guy that people are really drawn to. And I tell you, it's always worth the price of admission to go and watch during these camp days, because he will get after them. And they're at one point they're doing some drills. Well, as he said, have you guys ever watched a dog show? And the dogs are going in between like the sticks. It's like, that's what we're trying to do here. And I want you to go tight. And at one point he was there was also some cones on the field. He just kicked them away. He's like, you guys can't handle this part right now. And starts trying to simplify it for them so that they would focus on this one task at hand. And then they did, and they were getting it. And then afterwards, watching a whole bunch of running backs who were working with him, but were not going to be, offered by Ohio State. They were all like, thank you. And wanted to take pictures with them, wanted to just basically show their appreciation. And that's what you get from Locke. You get a lot of, you're going to get yelled at if you don't have the ball high and tight. You're going to get yelled at if you have your hands on your hips. You're going to get yelled at if your eyes are down and not up. Like, you're going to get yelled at for all of these things. Or I guess you could say you're going to get coached. You're going to get coached if you're doing all of these things.
Yeah, you're going to get coached hard, and he's going to coach you hard, and he's going to coach everyone hard. And it's Larry Johnson is going to be the grandfatherly guy, and he's going to treat everyone the same in that way. Locke is going to, he's not quite a drill sergeant, but he's not a drill sergeant in those moments. I always think you hear about guys, you go through the recruiting process, and then you show up and you have to get de-recruited, where you get told that you're the best, you're the greatest. How would we ever live without you? And then you get there and you're a freshman, and congratulations, back of the line. You're no longer a 5-star. You're just another guy on the team, and you've got to earn everything you got. I always get the sense that Locke's guys don't need to get de-recruited. Like, Locke's guys he is almost giving you reasons not to come play for him. If you're not, like, he is going to show you who he is, mm-hmm. and he's going to do it with a lot of enthusiasm. He's going to do it with, these guys universally, these players know he legitimately loves every single one of them. So this is not just you're getting yelled at by someone who doesn't like you. This is someone who is yelling at you and being very, very detail oriented, because he wants you to be everything you can be. And, you have seen the results over the last couple of years with Carlos Loughlin here, where the national championship season, boy, that was probably the best season of Travion Henderson's career. That was probably the best season of Quinshon Judkin's career. Last year, he had a bunch of true freshmen and a guy who got kind of kicked over from West Virginia, and they put together a pretty good season as, with true freshmen and a guy from West Virginia behind a so-so offensive line. And this year, I think you're going to see a much better running back room. And that is all sort of a direct tribute to Carlos Loughlin and his attention to detail. I love Carlos Loughlin photos. I have photos of, David Gabriel George, who is the number one player on everyone's board for 2027 running back. I was pulling camp photos of him from a year ago or 2 years ago, and Carlos Loughlin is getting after him in those photos. And but guess what? If you're coming to Ohio State, like, what you're signing up for. And that's, they play a video before camp every day, at the end of camp every day, where it's, they talk about, and this is one that they've put on social media, where it's, the past, the present, and the future of Ohio State football. And they talk about the fact that you're going to have to work for everything you've got. And Carlos Loughlin, man, he walks that out every single day.
And he tells his players, I'm trying to prepare you for when the ball goes flat. Everything we're doing now will apply to everything after football. Mm-hmm. And players appreciate it. The parents appreciate it. And speaking of parents, so Cooper Jones, his dad, George, was a Doak Walker finalist the year that Eddie George won it in 1995 at San Diego State. Rushed for like 1,800 yards that year. Then in the following year, rushed for about 130 yards a game, and his season shortened. But some talented running backs, some talented running back genes going on at Ohio State camp on Tuesday. So we'll go, like I said, I'll go ahead and run some fine footage of what was going on Tuesday. And if you're still watching, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the bell to be notified. You can find us a little bit at BuckeyeInsiders.com right now. Go ahead and go there. We've got a landing page. Put your email address in there. We'll let you know when we go live, things are moving, and we'll get you some updates on that when we have more for you. And, of course, subscribe to the Buckeye Weekly Podcast. Subscribe to Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning. Subscribe to the news show, The Time and Change Will Surely Show, which you can find if you type it all in specifically. Or, Google it, you'll find it. I promise you it's not that hard to find as we look at the past, present, and future of all things Ohio State football. So that will do it from here. Thank you all for tuning in. and we will talk to you all later.
So that's what every time you see him in any camp, any setting, even in the game, you're like,
but they hate you to talk to him. I got it.
Yeah. Say he on my side won't say that because I went to the he's like, I know what I'm talking about. You were going to try to get the places out. You
But I was in Division I. I played the field there.
Yeah.
So I played at Oklahoma State University.
Yeah. So I'm like,
so I was looking, but I ain't get to the end.
I'm like, this was. No, so when I come, so after the camp is over, I'm going to talk to him and say, make sure you always listen to that. He's going places you're trying to get to. So don't act like you're too big to have advice in your dad. Always, just remember, he can see stuff that you can't see. Yeah. You got too much time to, because the coach want to see you in this hostile situation, how you going to respond. Just like in a big time game out there with 120.
You back up the move. Hey, you got to go. That's what the defense. You got to take it. If I come to town, that's the wrong. That's what the defense is going to do. He comes to town. You got to go step on the floor. Come on, Mike. Come on, bro. Go take it back. Now, fight. Let's go. All right. Go take it back. All right. Go take it. Good. All right.
Wide receivers, running backs. In 5 minutes, you'll transition to routes and air. You got 5 more minutes of individual. You'll transition. Please follow the chart or the field layout of your booklet. They're different today than they were. Follow that booklet. You know where you're going. 5 minutes. Go back. I know you're lying. Wrist high to what? Well, come on. Guys, y'all got a Gary Brown when you get that coach. Come on with it. Y'all got a Gary Brown when you get that coach. You got a Gary Brown when you take his phone. Anybody watch dog shows? No. Y'all
got great agility, what they doing. Moving in and out, right? That's what this is. Working agility. Not hopping around, I'm scared to press the run. Forward and run. Attack the pole. Attack the pole. Now work back run. Attack the pole. Attack the pole. That's all it is. Ain't no right damn pocket. Attack the pole. And you should be tight on the pole. Working agility.
Once again, the indoor
Attack the pole.
2.5 minutes and 2.5 minutes, and you will begin transition.
Attack the
Routes
pole.
in the air.
Good.
Running backs, you'll be on field 1 all the way down the
Some